Today I'm going to talk about tape measures and how we use them in the construction field. I have 4 tape measures in front of me right now. A 12-footer, a 16-footer, and 2 25-footers. Right now in construction, we never use a 12-footer. We never use something this small. You never go out to a construction site and actually see somebody using this. Sometimes a 16-footer, maybe. Most of the times you're seeing guys use 25-foot tape measures. And now obviously there are inches laid out on the tape measures. Those are the big numbers. We'll focus on using this one right here, this red tape measure. So obviously you can see I got it laid out from 1 to 18 inches visible. And then every inch is divided into 16ths. So the smallest lines, hash marks on this tape measure are 16ths of an inch. The next smallest ones are 1/8 of an inch. And as you can see, the ones they actually have numbered go down to the 1/8. If they started putting the 16ths down, it would just be too jammed up. There'd be too much information on the tape measure. So the smallest ones they actually write down what fraction of an inch it is 1/8 of an inch. So in construction, you do have to know your fractions. So for example, here I'm at 2 1/8 inch. Then it goes another 16, so that would be 1, 2, 3 16ths. I add another 16th, and that gives me 2/8, but 2/8 simplifies to 1/4 of an inch, and so on, all the way up. 4/8 is a half. Add another 16th, so that's 9 16ths. Add another 16th, 10 16ths, reduces down to 5/8. 5/8 plus another 16th, okay, and then another 16th is 12 16ths or 3/4, and then so on, all the way up to, and then you get to the other inch. The other thing about construction tape measures, when I go over here, when we build walls, these are called studs, and these studs happen every 16 inches. That's the standard in construction. They're always 16 inches apart. 16 inches. And not coincidentally, on tape measures, look at, I go, all these numbers are in black until I get to 16. Okay, that's called the layout. And guess what so what's 16 plus times 2? 32. Guess what happens when I get to 32? Another red number. 32 plus 16 is 48. 48 plus 16 is 64. So all the numbers where the studs go. So if you're laying out a wall, marking where the studs go on a wall, this is why they're laid out in red. It helps you as you're laying out where the studs go. All right, the other thing tape measures have to help people out is the locking mechanism. So if I pull this tape measure out and I don't want it to go back, this one has the lock here. Most of them have the lock right there. And you can let it go, and it'll go in. These two have the locks right there. This one has a squeeze lock. However, it doesn't work. So this one I really wouldn't. It's got an issue with it. It's supposed to lock it down, and then you squeeze the bottom of it, and then it lets it retract, but it doesn't work. Other thing most tape measures have is this clip right here. It allows it to clip it to your belt or somewhere on your pants, so you don't lose it. You don't have to put it down. One more thing about the tape measure. All good tape measures they're curved. It's curved because it allows you to extend out the tape measure without it bending. All right, let's see how far I can get this out without bending. 48. course, getting 7 feet out is still going to bend down, but you can get it pretty far out and you can still keep it pretty straight when you're doing that. Another important thing about the tape measure is this end metal part where you hook it. You don't want that to get bent because that can affect your measurement. If you allow that to bend in, that could throw off your measurement by an eighth of an inch or even a quarter of an inch, so you don't want that. So most times you're hooking it. And that's taken into account when they make these things. Now, you could also use a tape measure and hold it against that way. And it has this little adjustment here that allows you to push it in and compensate for the thickness of that metal. So that still starts at 0. Either way, you can either hook it or push it, and it's not going to throw off the measurement. Because sometimes an eighth of an inch could be the difference between something looking good or looking bad, being level or not being level. So an eighth of an inch, even a 16th of an inch, can make a difference. And that's it for the tape measures.